You're listening to Captain John Doe, real aviation stories told anonymously. Let's get into it. Welcome back, Wednesday, Captain John Doers.
I am your favorite host, Kevin.
Self-proclaimed.
Assisted by my beautiful wife, Mindy.
Assisted. I love that I'm the assistant on this show. You know what's funny is everybody knows that it's clearly a joke.
It's so funny that our buddy just called us before we started recording, and he said, "Oh, it's our favorite host, Captain John Doe." And I'm like, I obviously did it as a joke, but it's catching on.
Most husbands put their wife on a pedestal.
Do I not?
You are self-proclaiming yourself as number one. You're like, I'm number one. I'm number one.
We're just built different over
You're
here.
literally like elbowing me off the podium. And we're watching the Olympics today. That's why that's top of mind.
We were doing a little recap.
You're going for gold.
Always going for gold. Speaking of the Olympics, I don't think we won in curling, and that's disappointing.
I'm going to have something exciting to report on next week's episode.
Oh.
Because every 4 years, we all watch the Winter Olympics and we watch curling. And I know everyone, including myself, sitting on their couch goes, I want to try that. Because out of all the Winter Olympic sports, that looks the most accessible to a normal human being. Those cross-country skier guys, their thighs are larger than my entire
Oh my gosh.
body.
We just watched it, and the whole time Minnie's like, let me see them thighs.
Yeah, I want to see their thighs. Stop covering up. I want to see them. Anyway, curling, every couple years, I'm reminded that curling looks like a really fun game. And next week, I'm going curling.
I'm kind of jealous.
You should be. I'm really excited because I wanted to do this for a long time. And I don't think that...
I think you're going to somehow be good at it, which...
I'm good at games.
You're the game queen, some might say.
I like the basketball game and arcade things. I smoke you out.
I'll put you on a pedestal here. You surprisingly have significant hand-eye coordination.
Oh, yeah. Seriously.
You do.
The arcade games where you like get as many basketballs in as you can or whatever. I smoke you in that. And you're not bad at basketball.
And I'll be honest with you. A lot of guys will tell you in privacy that you're letting your wife or girlfriend win. That does not happen with Mindy and I.
You're like a pig next to me while we're playing.
We go play putt-putt. She beat me in putt-putt the other day.
For the first time.
If you guys have been following for a while, I play golf. I am above average at golf. And she beat me.
For the first time.
At putt-putt. And I did not let her beat me. She just beat me. I played a good game. She just was better. Which
I'm good at games.
Cornhole? We're
smoke you.
Tag team cornhole.
I meant like smoke the audience.
Yeah.
If anyone ever has a cornhole little tournament happening, you guys want to invite me and Kevin to come take the gold?
You don't want that though, because
you want this heat.
It's you're gonna get disappointed real quick because you're not gonna win. You're just not. Like, cornhole is our secret power.
Talent.
Yeah.
We don't practice it.
Never.
We own cornhole boards. I own several, and I can't tell you the last time we pulled them out.
To be fair, when I first met you and I came and you brought me to your parents' house, in their living room, they have a cornhole board set up to the legal standards, and that's just what you guys did.
That's correct. I did used to play cornhole all the time. When I was in high school, I would travel around the city of Orlando to different cornhole tournaments on Wednesday, Thursday nights at different bars. And I would be 16 years old with these 40-year-old guys. There's a theme happening. I'm always in the hobby of old men.
That sounds fun.
It's fine. They loved me for it. We share the same passions. And I would roll up to these bars at 16 years old. And it was always buy-in. Like, you'd have to buy into these tournaments. And I would win all the time. It was freaking amazing.
I will say, getting into your family has opened my eyes.
Competitive.
Well, that there are some really, really redneck things that people do for fun and cornhole tournaments.
Well, let's save the rest of those things my family does for a different podcast. I know where you're going with this, and we're not going there right now.
Sure. Well, a little bit update on us. We've been flying the pants off of our 182 Mojo.
She don't have pants.
She don't have pants.
I get that critique all the time. Where's Mojo's wheel pants?
She don't need it.
She don't like to wear pants.
Anyway, she has her annual doctor's appointment right now, and she's been in the shop the past week. We got our squawk list back the other day. It looks relatively okay. I'm not really totally sure because we're not a mechanic, but from the outside looking in, she looks like she's pretty healthy.
Yeah, no, it wasn't a crazy squawk list by any means. No major things, just little things like couple chafing lines here and needed new tires, which we knew. Our tires were pretty bad, I'm not going to lie. So
tightening some bolts, like some leaks here and there, but it's a 70-year-old airplane. I mean,
yeah, to be expected. So no, I'm actually pretty happy because what's really difficult as an aircraft owner is finding a good maintenance shop that you trust. And that's going to vary depending on the type of aircraft that you have. Where we took our plane this time, I feel comfortable with. Finally, it took us months to figure out the right person to bring our plane to in Vegas. This is our very first annual inspection, first time needing a shop since we've been living in Vegas for the last year. So it's hard to find someone for a 70-year-old Cessna 182 that's the right fit, because where you're going to take your brand new Cirrus is different than where we're going to take our 70-year-old Cessna.
Correct.
You need someone with the correct knowledge of your type of plane, your vintage of plane, the common break points on your plane, like what they should be looking for. Like, it just takes experience in that particular model. So it's hard to find the right people. But as we've moved the last several years, it's really hard because we go through this process all over again every couple years, trying to find a new maintenance guy. And then you drop it off and you do not know what you're in store for with a stranger, because some of these shops will give you a $50,000 annual and they're like, yep, we deem that these are all airworthy and you can't leave this shop. It's grounded until you pay this bill. And you get totally screwed over because some of those things may be very subjective. So it's very scary to drop your airplane off to a shop you haven't been to before. And then once you get them and they know you and they know your airplane, it's like you get a weight off for the next couple years. But for us, we've moved around so much, and I'll say we've gotten pretty lucky. The worst one we had was when we first bought it, but I was so just so green about our airplane that I don't know if we got screwed over on our first annual or if it truly needed all that work, because it was our first annual.
We really took the preventative term literally. Like anything the mechanic said, we fixed. Mm-hmm. So I have like two buckets of feelings of annuals. From the instructor side, I understand the legality of it. But from the ownership side, anytime any machine, doesn't even have to be an airplane, but specifically an airplane, you start opening it up for no reason when there's not an issue, typically something pops up, or maybe there is like I don't want to blame the mechanics because there's no knock here, but I mean, you get what I'm saying. Like when you open up the can, when the can didn't need to be opened up, you never know what's going to happen.
Right. Or even when there is a necessary repair, as we have experienced, that repair can cause subsequent issues and new problems, or even upgrades, things that we were like, yeah, we want to upgrade this. We want to spend the money to do this new thing. Then that leads to something else breaking or something else needing attention or needing repair. So airplane ownership, especially with these older airplanes, is tough. It's really tough, like you said.
Yeah. So, and we've talked about this before, but definitely when we take the plane out of annual, we have our own internal checklist now. We're going to circle over the airport for X amount of time, make sure everything's running smoothly before we leave that environment.
Yeah.
Period. No matter what. And it's not even Has nothing to do. You could have the best mechanic in the world, but you still should do it.
Yep. On 100%. I mean, I think it needs a couple hours doing local flights over good landing areas, safe places that you're really familiar with before you go on a cross country.
And I need some time, don't I?
You need time. Yep. We all know.
But this week worked out perfect because like we haven't had any weather here in Vegas pretty much all winter, and it all came at once. We got over like 40 freaking inches in the past 3 days of snow.
Be clear, because we just called our friend and you said that, and it does come off a little improper.
So Vegas is in a bowl.
There's not snow in our backyard. There's not snow in our pool right now.
No, but there's snow 20 miles away.
Correct.
Up in the mountains.
Yeah, Vegas is surrounded by mountains, and we see snow on all of them right now, which in our entire year of being here, I've never seen all of them get snow. Usually just Mount Charleston.
Yeah, it was a wild storm. I mean, the wind pretty much was sustained at 40 knots for 4 days in a row.
Right. So we didn't need our airplane anyway.
No, we didn't sleep at all. The house felt like it was a blowdown. I'm like, is this a whatever they call a tropical storm in the desert?
Yeah. So not the worst thing that Mojo is an annual. And honestly, around the year mark, you kind of feel like you're ready for the annual. At least I am. As we fly our plane for several months, like the first couple flights after an annual is a little stressful because of what we just talked about. But then after that, you feel good knowing that someone had just looked over the plane. And then once you're on like month 11, you're like, man, someone hasn't looked at this thing in a long time. Someone should really be looking at this thing. So the timing actually feels pretty natural to want someone to look at it every year.
That's a good point. I mean, I agree. I mean, we get medical checkups every single year for our jobs, right? So like it makes you feel better when you come out of that with the doctor with your new little ticket. Like, oh, I'm good. Yeah. Let's go.
That leads me to think about, I'm sure some of you guys have some stories about annuals, and you guys know that I work in aircraft sales. That's my career, is buying and selling airplanes for people. So I deal with annuals and pre-buys and shops and squawk lists and logbooks every day, all day. Like a lot of my job is reading logbooks and talking to clients about their experiences and stuff. And I've heard a lot. So I know you guys have stories about annual inspections and things that have happened. I've heard, like, I remember someone had to get their engine rebuilt and a prop replaced. I'm like, oh, you had a prop strike? They're like, nope, it was in the shop for annual and it fell off the jacks.
Oh, no.
Stuff like that. So send us in that, not to like scare people out of airplane ownership. Obviously, I want to sell airplanes, but
this is the scariest part about owning an airplane. Like it's not a lie. It's a factual thing. The maintenance side of owning a plane far exceeds anything else.
It's unpredictable.
So unpredictable.
You might spend $3,000 in maintenance, and the next year you might spend $70,000 in maintenance because you needed an overhaul all of a sudden or something. It varies significantly, and that's why it's so scary. So anyways, if you think of a good annual or shop story that you've had, send it our way. Maybe you just want to get something off your chest because you just want to complain. Well,
we're your people.
We're going to make it anonymous. We're not going to knock down any shops, or call them out by name. But we'd love to hear some of those experiences because I think they're really interesting and pretty eye-opening for people that maybe want to get into aircraft ownership. Also, we missed a primo opportunity, Kevin.
I know we did.
I was thinking about our Valentine's Day episode, and normally we try to get ahead of our calendar, and you guys, we're so busy, and we're committed to making this podcast happen every single week, and we have not missed 1 week since we started. So I feel pretty proud of that, but that means sometimes we're not always ahead of the curve, and I feel like we missed out on our Valentine's Day episode. I feel upset that we didn't do it justice.
There is so many stories in this industry of meet cutes. I didn't even know what the heck that word meant, and Mindy kept saying it to me until she explained it. But what is a meet cute, Mindy?
I love meet cutes. I want to hear pilot meet cutes. So a meet cute is a story about a cute way you met your partner, of unexpected way. So and obviously in aviation, the most common scenario for this is CFI and student, like who your flight instructor was that you fell in love with, and now you're married and you have kids, and it's this beautiful story. So we don't have to always share poop stuff, guys.
Oh, we do have some more poop stuff today. But don't get just caught up on the pilots. We had ATC in our life for a long time, and it is a cesspool of meet cutes and controller world.
So true. If you guys had listened to one of our very early episodes, we talked about an air traffic controller that was on her 7th husband that was all controllers at the same facility.
Going for gold, baby.
Think about that. If you were her current husband, you were working alongside her 6 ex-husbands, all controlling in the same room.
So listen up. You guys listening that are married as, what do they say, level 24 pay controllers. I know for a fact your meet cute has a little bit of a story and some spiciness. I worked there. I know that there was some little stuff going on.
Or I always forget about this because I'm not an airline girly, but pilot flight attendant.
100%. We met one at NGPA.
Oh, yes, we did. We did.
Like pilot flight attendants, air traffic controllers, pilot CFI, student. I mean, this list is endless.
If you are married or dating or with someone that's in the aviation industry as well, you both are. And you guys met in the field. I want to know. There doesn't have to be like some like crazy drama. It can just be a cute story.
But we know there's some drama there.
If there is drama, like I'd love that.
So make sure you write in. Like, get these stories coming. You guys have kept it up. I mean, it seems like 5 a day we're getting in. I mean, I don't know. I get a notification, another submission.
What if there was like a Bachelor
Oh, here we go.
show, like TV show?
Pilot Pete already exists, baby.
What if it was all pilots? And like one of the challenges to win her love was like a spot landing challenge?
No one but the Microsoft Flight Sim people are going to watch that. No one.
I think people would watch it. It would be so ridiculous. Or like, like on The Bachelor, and I don't even watch The Bachelor, but I know enough to make my own TV show. On The Bachelor, towards the end, they go on like one-on-one dates and they like go back to their hometown. What if it was like they'd fly her to their hometown? Or like, what if the date was like backcountry camping? They all had to design their own camping date for her.
You going to pitch this to the network?
I'm pitching it right now.
Right now. Anyone out there? I'm sure someone here is a producer in Hollywood. Wait. Mindy is a big fan of Bravo. If you guys can't pick up on that.
Oh, I love trash TV.
Anything on Bravo.
Trash TV is my shit. Okay, so what other, let's take 5 seconds here. Don't roll your eyes at me. They can't see you, but I can.
This is my production. You're derailing it.
Okay. You literally have your hands on your hips.
All right, 5 seconds, go.
What other competitions would be in this TV show? And also, what would we call it?
Who can say what makes an airplane airworthiness the quickest?
No. Okay, no. Wow, you suck at this. Like spot landing, flower bombing. If you don't know what flower bombing is, it's like a competition where you fly your airplane like 50 feet above the runway and you put a target on the runway and everyone drops out a flour bag, like flour like you bake with, and you see who gets closest to the target. That could be a competition.
Who can fly without having to pee the longest?
Okay. Okay, we're trying to win her love. I guess that is a way. That's the least annoying guy of the group is who can hold their piss the longest.
That's not true, because I would win that battle of quickest to pee.
You would lose it.
I know.
You mean lose the battle.
We're always winning here.
You would not get gold for this.
Gold for gold.
I feel like there's so many ways we could take this new show.
Anyways, if you're a producer, write in, and in the title line, come up with something creative.
Dogfighting.
Okay.
The final 2.
Dogfighting for her love.
Yes, the final 2 contestants have to go on a real dogfight for her love.
People would watch that.
That's what I'm saying.
but they're not going to watch a spot landing.
Okay, so maybe we need the whole cast to be flying fighter jets for it to be sexy enough.
There you go.
Are we onto something?
Well, people love fighter pilots.
Yeah, I wonder what competitions fighter pilots could do.
Oh, it was red flag last week, so we could introduce it into red flag, saying the champion of the dogfight in the F-22s this week gets to take out Captain
Jane Doe.
Aviation Jane.
Yeah, my mind is going crazy right now. I feel like there's something here. It's like it would basically be all the fighter pilot hazing, but on TV. And who survives all of it?
Anyways, make sure you subscribe. That way you can follow our new TV series of dogfighting for her love on Captain John Doe TV.
Anyways, speaking of love, also, I have seen a lot of these online of pilots proposing in the cockpit. And I've seen a lot of videos. I'm sure you guys have too. But I want someone who's done it or was on the question end, the receiving end, to write in their experience. Actually, rewind. I would especially love to hear from who got proposed to, because normally I'm stereotyping, but the videos I've seen is a dude pilot who typically acts like there's some sort of emergency.
Maybe a little zero-G action.
No.
No.
No zero-G action.
I've seen that one.
No, you haven't.
Yeah, I have.
For a proposal? No, that's really lame. Anyway, and then they tell their girlfriend passenger who's not a pilot, like, oh my gosh, we're having an emergency, read the checklist. And at the end of the checklist, it says, will you marry me? I want to hear from her perspective the emotions that she went through thinking she was in an emergency. I think this is kind of a jerk way to propose, because you just had her fearing for her life for a moment.
Mm-hmm.
Don't love that for her. But I want to hear from her if it felt that real. And then once they got to the marry me question, were they a little annoyed? Were they like, yeah, I will. This is really exciting. But like, did we have to do it this way? I like the proposal stories where they set up something on the ground that says, will you marry me? And they fly over it and they tell her to look out the window. That's cute. She didn't think she was about to die.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So I want to hear more about these.
Well, Miss Bravo Khan over there.
I have a big imagination.
I know.
We're
going to revisit this topic, but as always, make sure you guys subscribe to all the socials. Make sure you submit and make sure you read reviews. Speaking of reviews, we're always going to read 2 of them because you guys are awesome. So I'm going to go with the first one. It's from Short Final. My favorite podcast, 5 stars only. By far the best aviation podcast and one of the best overall podcasts out there.
Whoa.
Wow.
Hit us with it.
Flying is obviously serious, but Mindy and Kevin bring back the human factor, and humans are flawed, funny, and they make mistakes. And they're prone to biological issues. Everything is fair game here, and is presented in a fun but educational manner. So well done. Can't wait for Wednesday. Wow. Thank you. Short Final. Yoga 001. Bravo. 5 stars only.
We love Bravo.
Oh my God. Sim.
So Sim.
Sim. Bravo. From one who doesn't do podcasts, this one's pulled me in. The stars are not just for the great aviation stories, some of the history or fun education. The team and excellent communication of Kevin and Mindy make this 5-star worthy. If there's an award for the best pod duo, your various experience in aviation and great storytelling skills make you winners. Bravo.
Oh.
Also, as Kevin mentioned, I think being married accounts for that we on the oil change. No doubt he fully has the next one. Read up, Kevin. They caught that one. Nah.
Wait, who was that from?
That was from Yoga _001.
Okay, well, thank you for dipping your toe into podcast for us. I appreciate you and appreciate that review a lot. And I love that he just put that on you, because if you guys don't remember or didn't hear this episode, I did the last oil change on our airplane where Kevin got to just show up at the very end and be like, wow, great job, babe. So I love that this person said that you have to do the next one and that you can't say, we did our own oil change.
We are married.
Mindy did it.
We and us always go together, but Mindy did do it.
I'm an independent lady. You don't get to take credit for what I did.
So guess what today is?
Merch drawing.
Merch drawing. Mindy, do you have the wheel ready?
Apparently, it's time to spin the wheel.
Apparently, the prize is a Captain John Doe t-shirt.
I'm spinning the wheel right now, guys. Just hold on. Ding, 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 ding.
That did not happen at the casino last night.
Brie lemon. Brie lemon.
Brie lemon. Do you like brie cheese and lemon to go on top of it? Because if you do, you get a free Captain John Doe t-shirt.
That's terrible. That's really terrible. That's stupid.
Congratulations, Brie Lemon.
Congrats. Yes, we're going to send you a box of Captain John Doe merch that has stickers, a bag, and a really cool t-shirt for you. A little note from us. So every month, we just want to thank you guys for being a part of this podcast. It's very much a community, and so many of you guys are messaging us lately, telling us that you love it or that a certain story stuck out to you guys. And we absolutely adore those messages. So thank you guys for being a part of it. This is just our way of giving back a little bit. And I'm excited to send out our February merch winner. So if you guys didn't know, we're doing this monthly merch giveaway all year in 2026. So we're going to pick a winner every fourth Wednesday of the month on that fourth episode. And you enter for free. You know, we don't ask for a lot from you guys. So if you want to be in the merch drawing, just go to Instagram and there will be a monthly giveaway post there. It's really easy. You just comment on it and you're in the running. And then you can get an extra entry by leaving us a podcast review, just like the ones that we read on the episode earlier. So you just send us a DM after you complete it or an email, however you want to contact us. There's 1,000 ways. Just tell me and I put it on the list. But for example, on Apple Podcasts, if you scroll to the bottom, you can add your rating and your comments, and that would be amazing. So this is open to U.S. residents 18 and older. Our full rules are on CaptainJohnDoe.com, which is where you also submit your anonymous story or ask for advice, or head to our Instagram bio for the full rules. Okay, I think that we're getting to the fun part now.
Yeah, let's get into...
I already had fun.
I have too.
Let's just wrap it
But
up.
let's get into...
I'm hungry.
I am hungry, but you know what? The people who make this podcast continue on as you guys, the listeners, and we're going to read some of their stories today.
Persevere.
All right. I'm a 72-year-old guy who earned his private pilot license back in 1975. I actively flew from 1975 through about 1985 and owned a 1981 Cessna Skyhawk for about 5 years.
Ooh, that was practically new. Look at you.
Oh. After I retired, I decided to start working on my instrument rating that I had started working on back in 1985. I have diabetes and take several pharmaceuticals that are disallowed by the FAA. So I was certain that I no longer could pass a Class 3 medical. But I decided to take lessons with an instructor anyways. No medical necessary to get dual instruction. I really enjoyed flying again and got the bug bad. I thought to myself, my diabetes is well controlled and my other prescriptions were none of their damn business.
Hell yeah, brother.
So I decided to apply online and just left off things that I knew would disqualify me.
Oh, hell no, brother.
Ooh. I then scheduled my appointment with the doctor and was confident that I would walk out that day with a fresh medical. But the first thing he did was ask me to pee in a cup. He then dipped the test strip in my pee cup and he got a concerned look on his face.
He was pregnant?
He said, "You have a lot of sugar in your urine. Are you a diabetic?" I decided that I had to come clean with him. So he told me he would have to report my indiscretion to the FAA. He was very nice about it, but he said his hands were tied. He said to expect a sternly worded response from the FAA and that I would be denied a medical. So now comes along Mosaic, and I think, cool, I only need a driver's license to fly light sport aircraft. And the Cessna 172 and maybe some 182s now would be classified as a light sport aircraft. Catch 22. Now that I've been denied a medical, I no longer can even get a sport pilot license. Shit. I just don't want others to be caught in this trap. Well,
there's more, right?
No.
Oh, that's
no. Okay. Well, the first thing here.
This hurts my heart.
Is it has to be said because we read it. You can't lie. Now, giving information that is unnecessary might be okay. But if you have diabetes and it's documented, know.
The medical application makes it clear what information is necessary and unnecessary.
Yes, but like this guy's taking medicine. So like there's a paper trail here.
Yeah.
We're not going to give advice on medical situations, but what I can tell you is if you have something, go and get resources prior to taking your medical. There's a lot out there that can help guide you through this process, because what happened to this Captain John Doe will happen to you if you choose to lie, and the doctor's hands are tied. That's their license on the line.
Right.
They're not going to lie for you.
Well, even if he had gotten through this and the doctor didn't notice that he was diabetic via his urine test, this coulda, woulda came down on him in the near future after getting his medical that day, because it would come out eventually. Someone would notice, I'm sure, sometime that he was on medication and was a diabetic and getting treatment for many years about it. This just hurts my heart. I hate these disqualifying things because it sounds like he has it under control and he's had this for a long time and has been on his medicine for a long time. It just really hurts my heart, people that are so passionate about aviation and get roadblocked by medications. And I understand why that exists, but it doesn't make me feel less bad.
No. And we'll say there is options here. You know, they do have special issuances. Now, let's look at reality. What bucket are you falling into? Are you wanting to be a career aviator or a hobbyist aviator?
Right.
You have to self-evaluate and be real with yourself, because if there are medical issues, there's a lot of documentation on what issues you cannot have to be a professional pilot. But that won't kill your dream of being a hobbyist. So I'm telling you, if you guys fall under any sort of medical problem, call a professional before you go for your appointment, because once you're there sitting with the AME, they are legally obligated to do their job. It is their license. And if they find something, they're going to report it. I promise you.
They have to. And yeah, you really can't lie on these things. That's the worst thing you can do, because there's ways to get around the medical condition that you're dealing with, or to prove that it's stable. And is it going to be easy? Probably not. But what's much harder is gaining back the trust of the FAA after you lied on a medical application. That kind of ends your journey.
Yeah, paper trails will end your journey. When you're taking prescribed drugs, there is no option of you hiding that. None.
A small, maybe insignificant to some, but maybe significant to others, a small thing that you could do that you were already doing prior was you can still go get flight training. You can still fly with a flight instructor. I know that's not the end all be all dream and goal that you had, because you did have your license and you want to go fly by yourself again. But if you love aviation this much, find an instructor that you love, that you like spending time with, that doesn't feel so transactional, right? Find someone who feels more like a friend, or that you could see yourself, feeling like, oh, I'm not really getting trained by this kid that I don't really relate to, but instead find an instructor that you would like to spend a Saturday with and go enjoy aviation with an instructor and continue on your aviation journey. And they're still going to let you take off and land the plane. You're going to get that satisfaction of flying, just maybe not the way you saw it or envisioned it at the start.
I don't even know, because I have 3 customers that you're describing right now, and they own airplanes. They
Well, and they have medicals, though. They're not medically.
Some of them are not.
Oh.
Some of them are not. This is what I'm getting at. Some of them do not have medicals. So they only can fly with an instructor or a hired pilot.
You're sitting there.
They get their fix. That's the way I'd put it.
Yes.
Like, to be fair, I definitely do a lot, but there are some of these guys that want to get their fix in, and they know maybe they had a medical, maybe they had some health issues, and they still want to fly airplanes. They still want to own airplanes. And a big part of my work that I currently do is like that. So there is an option.
Yeah. I think so. I think that if you can redesign the dream in your head, you can still buy a plane. You can still fly that airplane, own it, and you can still fly wherever the hell you want to on your Saturday afternoon. It's just now envision that dream with some guy sitting next to you.
You just need a professional in the right seat.
Right.
Which is not the end of the world.
No. In fact, a lot of people prefer to do
They
that.
love having me with them.
Yeah.
They are so excited.
One, because they get to share that experience with someone else who loves aviation, but two, because a lot of hobbyists don't love to fly by themselves anyway.
No, when a lot of our customers, when they bring their family, I'm going with them.
So I hope that if you are listening and you're dealing with a medical issue that you think will disqualify you or has disqualified you, hopefully that you can figure out an appeal process and figure out how to make your dream a reality. But in the meantime, maybe think about how you can stay in aviation in a different way and still be satisfied. And like you said, get your fix.
I love that.
I think there's a way to do that. The only other thing I wanted to mention about this story, one, thank you for sending this in to show your experience, because we all hear about this. And this is truly the very first time I've seen or read someone who admitted to lying on the application, getting caught and getting denied. We all hear about it and say like, oh, this will happen if you do that. But this is the first time I've ever actually had a first person point of view about it.
Yeah. And they ended it saying, I just don't want others to be caught in this trap. So like,
yes,
thank you. You're recognizing this. We're putting this out here. When I read this story, I was like, this has to go on because this is real. This is very unfortunate, but take what this guy's words are
from him. That's why he sent it in. I'm sure this, even though this is anonymous, this took a lot of courage to submit, because he still had to write this out and put it and admit his mistake, which is hard for people to do, even in an anonymous setting. So thank you for sending that in. That way other people can learn from you. But you mentioned something in here about Mosaic, and I am not an expert on it, but what I will say is exactly what he said. If you want to use Mosaic, which is a new thing in the last couple of years, go on AOPA's website and search for Mosaic and you can find all the information. But that's going to be the key for a lot of people. But the key to that, so you can go to your normal doctor, I believe, with your driver's license and be able to fly certain types of aircraft, which is most planes that people want to fly as a hobby anyway. The only key to that is you cannot have been denied a medical certificate in the past to fly under Mosaic. So if you think for any reason that you will get denied your class 3 medical, like this guy, and this happened before Mosaic, it sounds like. But now in this new world, if you think that you would get denied a traditional medical, and those are the types of planes you want to fly that fall under Mosaic, do not go apply for your 3rd class medical. Go straight to Mosaic. That's what it's there for.
That's literally the point of it. Great advice.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not an expert on it.
No, but I do know what you're saying is real. That's what it's for.
Read up on it. That could be the key for a lot of people. But again, I hope that you can stay in aviation. I know a lot of people that follow me on YouTube and Instagram and stuff message me all the time that they can't fly anymore because they're too old or they lost their medical or something happened to them, and they stay in the mix via following other pilot creators and just enjoy being around it. But you can take it one step further and hire an instructor and go get out there and actually do the real deal. And I hope you do.
Well, thanks for submitting it.
Next story. Is this a funny story or a sad story? You picked this out for me.
Funny.
And is it going to make me look bad to read whatever this is?
No, it's on par for what we only get typically in stories.
It's about poop again.
Nah, yeah, definitely.
Okay. Why?
Definitely about poop again.
Pilots and their bowel systems. Love to talk about it. All right. Can't wait to see where this one goes. I truly have no idea what I'm reading, guys. So if something crazy just falls out of my mouth, I did not vet this. Kevin picked this out for me.
Read it for him. Let him know.
Okay. Many years ago, I was flying with a friend of mine in her Cessna 182 to DWH, David Wayne Hooks, in Houston. I dropped her off and got a delicious barbecue lunch. I took her Cessna 182 to fly up to FTW, Fort Worth Meacham, to visit my family for the weekend. I took off for an uneventful solo 1 hour and 45-minute IFR flight to FTW. I reached my top of climb and was cruising northwest at 6,000 feet. About halfway through the flight, the shoe dropped in the form of a bunch of angry piglets doing backflips in my stomach.
Ooh, where's this going?
I gritted my teeth and I figured I could make it to my destination. A light tailwind gave me a little unwarranted hope. With about 30 minutes to go and mounting intestinal pressure, ATC called me and gave me an arrival. This arrival would have added 20 more minutes. I wasn't going to make it. No chance, no way. Think fast. What do I do? Cessna 1234 is unable the arrival. ATC queried, "What's the reason for not being able to accept the arrival?" I replied, "I have a passenger that may have a medical emergency and I can't accept any delays." Telepathy happened. With no radio communication, I could hear the controller inner monologue say, "This guy's got to take a shit." A few long seconds later, he keyed up the mic and said, "Cessna 1234, direct destination, descend and maintain 3,000, contact the tower."
Great ATC voice.
Thanks. A wash of relief went over me. I landed mostly uneventfully, although I have a new appreciation for fighter pilots that have to do the hick maneuver for long periods of time. Apparently, ATC called ahead to the FBO and let them know of my predicament. That's so embarrassing. I taxied to the ramp, and as soon as the line guy parked me, he informed me that the bathroom was around the CSR desk to the right. I ripped the headset off and did the poopy sprint towards the building. The CSRs were also lining the way, pointing to the porcelain salvation. I remember running past one cute CSR.
There's always a cute girl in these stories.
I remember running past one cute CSR and thinking, she's cute, no chance.
You
now.
never had a chance, buddy.
After an Austin Powers, "Who does No.2 work for?" type life event, I went to the CSR desk to check in. The girl was very nice and tried not to embarrass me, but informed me that the tower called it in and everyone was pulling for me. However, I feel like they may have had their bets down, but didn't stick around long enough to find out who won.
Oh, boy. So, did you win or not?
That's hilarious. Obviously, he did.
He
Made
won.
it.
This writing style, porcelain salvation. I mean, come on.
Fucking hilarious.
Little Austin Power. Who does No.2 work for? I don't know. I can't do the Austin Power voice.
That wasn't even close. You just did the apparently kid.
We've been doing apparently kid all freaking day. Anyways, this is stinking with
Well,
your brain.
it is, but what's funny is that he said there was a passenger with a medical emergency. Somehow the controller picked up what he was putting down, but hilariously called it into the tower. But what if they didn't? What if they called the tower and the FBO, or what if the FBO got the phone call saying, like, "Hey, this plane, there's someone on there with a medical emergency"? What if they rolled the trucks?
Well,
What if he arrived just having to take a No.2 and there was an ambulance waiting?
that's why I was going to say you didn't need to say that. Like, you can just tell ATC, I need to go direct because I'm having some sort of a restroom emergency.
That would be good.
I've been told this countless times in a myriad of different ways. The funniest, and
You just tomato yourself.
I don't know how to speak. Okay.
You said myriad.
You chose.
Just tomato.
You said let's do a podcast, and I said I never did English class.
You just tomatoed yourself.
Oh my gosh. Anywhom, the best one. I feel like I've said this before, but it doesn't matter. It's relevant here. The best one I've ever had is a young girl that was definitely a Riddle student, and she said she had a code brown emergency, and that was perfect because that made my day for the next. It continued to make my day for the next 2 weeks. So I would definitely say this story is a bonfire hanger moment story. But for those of you listening, we don't need to say medical emergency because somehow this controller understood. But most controllers, when you say medical emergency, are going to call and roll the trucks for sure. That would be also
terrible.
pretty.
That'd be so terrible, but so funny if he had rolled in and he was like, no, the medical emergency was me
I mean, I'm having a medical emergency if I don't go, right? His intestinal, what did he say? Intestinal pressure or something. Yeah. From barbecue? No. Barbecue.
Oh, no, that can happen.
Barbecue can happen, I guess. A little bit of.
It might have been quantity, not quality of barbecue.
That's a good point.
He had the meat sweats.
What have we learned, Kevin, is we need to watch what we eat when we fly.
Yeah, you do. I don't eat shit.
This is great. This is the type of crap, pun intended, we're looking for.
That is so freaking funny. I think that almost every pilot probably has a story like this.
It is. Also, like, why do they always end with a cute girl you guys never had a chance to start with? Come on.
So funny. And if you guys listened to last week's episode,
I think.
Hold on.
Maybe 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. Yes. Episode number 30. We had a story almost identical, but it was on a private jet that had a lav, thankfully. The pilot didn't want to use the lav because he had to take a huge number 2, and there was a beautiful woman sitting next to the lav. Hilarious. Mm-hmm. This is the type of stuff they make movies and trash TV about. We love it.
Bravo, Con.
That's what I'm saying.
Great story. Love it. Keep the poop stuff coming in.
Everyone was pulling for me. That's funny. That's a really fun day at work to get a call.
It's exciting.
The pilot's coming in and he's really got to go to the bathroom. So clear the way.
I can't imagine. I was a line guy, and the excitement being a line guy is usually minimal. But if you got that call, oh my God.
This is an exciting day.
Oh my God.
They loved it. You think that you're embarrassed about it, but you made their day, all of their day. I'm sure of it. That's hilarious. But yeah, a little FYI to be careful about what you eat before you get in a small airplane or drink.
And drink. I am notorious for drinking coffee every single morning, and
I don't. Not if I'm getting in a small plane. Instead, you guys go to Amazon, and I buy these for my flight bag. They're caffeine pills. Mm-hmm. We all need caffeine, okay? But sometimes you're not in a position to be able to drink a cup of coffee because it's right before a flight, or maybe it's during your flight. You're feeling sleepy and you still have an hour to go. So you don't want to drink a caffeine drink, or maybe you don't have one. Put caffeine pills in your flight bag. They are my best trick. That's my hat trick. And they work. A different pilot, a friend of mine, recommended them to me, and I was starstruck by this little hack because he keeps them in his flight bag. Now I do. You take one pill, it's 200 milligrams of caffeine, and it has such a clean disbursement. At least I think it does, where it's not like a huge energy and then huge crash. Like, you hardly notice it. The only way I noticed it was working was because I wasn't tired anymore, but I wasn't bouncing off the walls. Sure. Anyway, highly recommend.
Well, we shouldn't give out all of our tips and tricks because we need these stories to keep getting submitted. So make sure you drink that pot of coffee.
Oh my God, I drink so much
coffee.
And then call us.
All right. So our last segment is the new thing where we have you guys submit advice. This one is, I think it's a great little topic because this is pointed at Mindy specifically.
Uh-oh.
So the listener wrote in, "Hi, Mindy. I need advice. I bought a Cessna 206 5 years ago, brand new. Great plane. I have about 1,500 hours in it already. I fly a lot. Typical salesman, always trying to upsell me, and he's calling me nearly every quarter for the last 3 years, trying to get me to buy a Caravan. How do I politely say I'm comfortable where I'm at right now without pissing him off? I know down the track I'll eventually upgrade and then have the same issues with him trying to upsell a King Air or a jet. I do like that they're in consistent contact, so hats off to Textron.
Okay, this is very pointed at me. Where to start? I want to talk about the perspective of both parties here.
Ooh.
Because I have different thoughts on if I am the client or if I am the salesman. And I have probably some advice for both. Let's start with the client side. It is very annoying if the only reason the salesman is calling you is to upsell you. They should be calling you and building a relationship regardless of the upsell conversation. But if the only reason they message you every 3 months is saying, hey, you ready for a Caravan yet? That's freaking annoying, right? Like, that sounds like punishment for you buying a new plane from them. Truly.
No.
Is that bad to say?
We're doing a podcast, so I think the listeners can imagine that.
However, as a client, if you got no contact and they weren't trying to upsell you, I feel like that also kind of hurts an ego.
Well, see, the last sentence there, like, that's what it sounds like. He says, I do like that they're in constant contact. So it's like this guy wants to be.
Well, I think he was respecting the game. I think the line of that was saying, like, I respect the hustle. That's
Sure.
that's what that line was. I don't think he wrote in because he doesn't like that they constantly contact him, but he was saying, I understand it and I respect it.
Following.
But like, for me, what I hate is when I walk into a car dealership and no one gives me the time of day. And I have walked out of car dealerships that I planned on buying a new car from, and the sales guys don't give me a second look and won't even talk to me because they think that, I don't know, I'm not qualified. I don't know. And I will walk away, and I hate it. So if you're getting the cold shoulder from salesmen, that doesn't feel good either. But again, okay. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Let's flip over to the salesman side.
Saleswoman for you.
And well, he said salesman. So, you know what's funny is
I was just going to say I'm sure you know who this is.
I
and I have my thought as well.
I know who this is about.
Anonymous.
I'm almost positive because it's one of the best salesmen on the Textron team, or the best, let's say, top tier of the Textron Piston sales team. This person is, and I'm pretty sure this is. And my advice to this salesman, unsolicited, is what I kind of mentioned earlier, is you cannot contact clients and customers only about business reasons, especially after you close the deal. Once you close the deal, it's relationship building time. They know you sell Caravans, and they know that they want to upgrade, that who to call. Why, you are staring a hole through me right now, and I cannot think, Kevin.
I'm going to look at the ground then.
You just went in a la land.
No, I was thinking about something that you told me. And
Well, say it, because I can't focus when you're looking at me like that.
well, after I left ATC, I was down this path of trying to get jobs and everything. And you always have told me you have to ask for the sale, but you can't start.
Not every time.
Let me tell my story that you taught me. Is if you can get that person to talk about themselves for the first couple minutes, that changes the game. Don't lead in with what you're doing. Lead in with what is up with their life.
Right.
And this is, you told me this, I'll share it, is with like recruiters and with chief pilots and networking, because we have a lot of connections, but I've never ever talked to these people about, hey, can I get a job? You know, we've always just shared normal stories, and, you know, you've kind of coached me on how to build that relationship.
Right. So that's what I'm going to say here. Not to give away all the salesman tricks, but I'll just share. And it's not, this doesn't mean this is disingenuous, because I'm genuinely curious about my clients and what they're up to, because that helps me build a story for future sales. And usually I become friends with my clients. So this isn't fake, but I will say it is calculated. So what the salesman should be doing to you as your 206, you're a client of them, they should be reaching out saying like, hey, where'd you take your 206 to annual last year? I'm looking for some reviews for some of my other clients.
Ooh, she just hit you with it.
I hate that I'm giving up my trick.
She just hits you with it.
But I don't care.
Well, I know for a fact, and I'm going to give your tricks away. You do make sure you reach out to all your customers frequently, but you have these little things because, one, like you said earlier, you do care.
Yeah.
Like this is how you make your freaking living.
And I do want a review on all the shops because that is important to me and my other clients. But do I have another client asking me for a review at that time? Absolutely not. I just made that up. I made it up. It's a reason to reach out.
Your customers listen to this. You know that?
It's fine. It's fine. It's genuine. Again, it's genuine, but calculated. So like as a salesman, you got to find reasons to reach out to people. And that becomes hard. After you haven't seen that client for 5 years, it's hard. You can no longer call this guy and say, hey, how's the 206 treating you? The answer, what do you think it would be if it was text?
It's fine.
Yep. Good, period.
Good.
Thanks. It's got to be more than that. And you know what people love? They love giving their own opinions. That's why I ask for shop reviews a lot. That's such an easy way in. How do you like your shop? And I do have a list of shops and people's opinions of them, by the way, because there's some shops I will never let clients take their plane to or get a pre-buy at. So it is good information for me. And so it'll be something like that. Or, hey, have you brought your 206 anywhere fun lately? I'm looking to build a trip for myself in Florida coming up. And they'll say, yeah, you've got to stop into this place. They have the best cafe, blah, blah, blah. And then it just leads into natural conversation. And then every once in a while, then you get to put in the sentence of like, so have you thought about upgrading? It sounds like you're going to the Bahamas a lot more. Like, don't you think it'd be more comfortable in a caravan? Then you get to drop that in because now after all these conversations, you know that him and his wife and his 2 big dogs are going to the Bahamas all the time. And it's a little tight in that 206. Then you get to use that against them and try to sell them a caravan with it. But you don't get to just call and say, hey, buddy, so you ready for a caravan? Because my goal is to sell 4 of them this year and I haven't sold any. That's not the way to do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, you just got a free masterclass of the psychology of selling.
I don't want to give out too much. It feels weird.
It's brilliant though. Like I know it sounds simple what you're saying, but it's not because you're building that rapport that people tell you when you read online. How do you get success, networking, and build rapport? How do you do that? No, you got to sell. And that goes into anything in life whether you're trying to get a job as a pilot, you have to sell yourself. Whether you're trying to put food on the table and you're a broker like Mindy, you have to sell yourself. How do you do that?
My number one tip for people who want to network or maybe you're in sales is just to get the other person to open up about themselves and then draw connections. So whenever that 206 customer, I say, hey, I'm looking to demo a person in Florida in your area, where do you think I should take them? You know, what's the best? And they'll be like, oh, you got to go into Cedar Key and then take the golf cart in and blah, blah, blah. Then I get to say, oh yeah, I've been there. And when I went there, the lady called on frequency and asked if we needed a taxi. And then you start a natural conversation and then you want to like have them open up and then identify points that you can relate yourself to. And then you create what's called the human connection.
Oh.
It's not that hard. It's not that hard. That's what you need to do. And you got to apply this to networking. Instead of going up to someone who you admire and saying, hey, I'd love to have your job one day. Maybe that's the opening. But then you follow up with, what got you into this line of work? Or what exciting projects have you been working on lately? And when they say, oh, like lately I've been really trying to work on my relationship building with clients and I hired an assistant to do that. You say, oh, really? My dad owns a company and he does this software that does this. Like you've got to like have them open up and then how can you relate it to yourself to create the connection?
Do you see how awesome it is I get to live with this lady? I'll give you a quick example because I did not come up with any of these things. When we went to NGPA the other day, I talked to the recruiter for 15 minutes with a line of 300 people behind me because I used what Mindy just said. I did not say, hire me. I asked them first, why are they at Endeavor, or I shouldn't say the word, why are they at this airline and what do you like about it? And that guy just rattled off all these things. And then we got into a normal conversation and he didn't even look at my resume until minute 10. And then at that point, he gave me his card and said, email me.
Yeah.
Like I didn't do anything special, but try to be a human. And I learned that from my wife.
Yeah, well, it's hard not to get wrapped up in transactional stuff. We all live such busy lives and you just want to like get on with it. But it's really rewarding to make these connections because out of these little tricks, I've made real, genuine friendships, and we vacation with my clients. Like some of them we actually call family. Like there's a client that I call my dad.
I'm going with him next month to Breckenridge.
You are going with this same client who we call him our adopted dad. Yes. And to the point, this relationship has come so long and we adore them so much that Kevin and my client are better friends than I am now. And they are going on a ski trip together. Like that's how this works. It's so fun. But now I realize that we actually didn't give this guy advice. So
did we not?
No.
This is not my thing. This is yours.
I know.
Oh, yeah. We kind of told other people how to do.
He says, okay, so let's get back to this story real quick, and then we're going to answer it, and then we're going to sign off here and go get lunch. So his advice that he needed was, how do I politely say I'm comfortable where I'm at right now without pissing him off? First thought, why do you care about pissing him off? He cares about pissing you off. You are in the power seat. Ooh. You say what you want to say. You're the guy that's trying to be sold to. And I know you don't, like, you sound like a very like nice person. And I'm not saying you have to do that in like a bad way. But if he's always asking like, hey, when you ready for the caravan? I would say, hey, I just want to be polite here, but I'm really happy with the 206. And I will reach out to you when I'm ready to upgrade. I appreciate you being in my corner.
Period. That sounds like a pretty good way to do it. They might understand that.
Firm, but polite. I would almost go as far as saying what you said to me. I would say, hey, I don't know how to politely say this, but I'm really comfortable where I'm at and I don't want to piss you off, but I don't want to be upsold right now. That's human. I would just be real with it. I would say it like that.
It sounds like you said, it sounds like this guy likes the salesman. So throw a little ego thing at the end, a little breadcrumb at the end. And that kind of, I feel like will help
an ego
take the dog out.
Like, you did so well putting me in this 206. Mm-hmm. It still fits my mission perfectly. And when my mission changes, you are the first person I will call.
Boom.
Period.
Boom.
Be firm, but polite with them. I think you should just be pretty forward with them. That's what I would do. If someone sent me that message, I'd be like, oh, hell yeah. Like, yeah. They appreciate me. And now I don't have to like contact them every 3 months. They're going to reach out to me.
Another insider trading is the biggest fear for salespeople is losing a customer. So if you give them that little breadcrumb,
you're not going to piss them off.
You're not going to piss them off.
Do I have client stories that I will not tell on this podcast because I am very private about my clients and like how that works in those relationships. I never want someone to work with me and be fearful that they're going to be on my podcast. That will never happen. So, but there has been some freaking wild things that clients have said to me, and I still cower to them and say, yes, sir, can I have another?
May I have another?
Will you please answer my phone call still tomorrow? I promise you're not going to piss them off. It's not like you're not going to be allowed to buy a caravan when you want to. Like, let's just put that out there. You're in the power seat. You do what you want.
Well, I think we all learned a lot, including myself here, by that last little segment. So keep the advice stuff coming in, because the review we read today, Mindy has a decade in this industry.
Of the sales industry.
Of sales. Of flying, longer.
I've been flying for 14 years, but this is my 10-year anniversary of being an aircraft sales broker?
And I have 9 years in the industry. Obviously, my experience is drastically different. And I think that's what makes this, advice section kind of unique. And we have some things we can share.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Where are we going to lunch, babe?
I don't know, but let's sign off and figure that out. As always, thank you guys for being here with us. We appreciate you. Leave some reviews, leave some stories, leave some advice. CaptainJohnDoe.com. And with that, we will see you guys next time.
Bye. Thanks for flying with Captain John Doe. If you have a story to share, visit CaptainJohnDoe.com and stay anonymous. New episodes every Wednesday. Be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and tell your favorite crew members.